here we are in the mindfulness space. We're doing mindfulness all month. The first of the 7 factors of awakening. Only one of 7, but a very, very important one. Yeah, very important one, of course, very central. I'd like to say a few words about the quality of mindfulness. There's a quality that's emphasized in Buddhism. This is one of those that I never heard about for a long time. But there's a lot that we didn't hear about originally when these practices came over, and we're hearing about them more. But when the expression is yoniso manasikara, it means wise attention, wise attention, wise mindfulness, wise attention. It's interesting. The yoniso is connected with the birthing of experience. It's as if it's making the mind, one definition is making the mind according to origin, coming closer to the birthing of experience, attending to the birthing of experience, which I love. I love that association also, because with a birth, most of us would agree, if you've attended a birth, the birth of have you ever seen the birth of a caterpillar, or of a bird, a chick breaking out of a shell, or the birth of a baby? There's something inherently fascinating about that, isn't there? I mean, we don't have to, the mind is not being distracted by anything else when birthing is happening, right? Yeah, there's a total involvement in it. And that captures something very, very much. And I think it's why the word yoniso, manasikara just means attention, attention. Yoniso, it's the birthing, the origin of attention, and bringing with it, it's not just a description, it's bringing with it that quality that we would bring to a birth, to a birthing, the birthing of attention. And so, we're really talking about here the moment-to-moment arising of experience as it comes to us, Now, we don't tend, in our general frame of reference, we don't think of our life as a series of moments that are being birthed, moment after moment after moment. But as we begin to look more closely to our experience, we can begin to see this. Out of thin air, one thing is arising after another, moment after moment after moment. It's happening right now. It doesn't take a tremendous amount of concentration or samadhi to see this. Experience keeps coming, one moment after moment after moment after moment. Now, we tend not to look in that way because we're very quickly attached to what it is, how it is, the context of it, and the story of it, right? So we're missing the birthing. For us, we're aware of something where after it's already been born, and it's already been born and crawling and starting to, it's already become complex by the time we tend to notice it in our usual mode of attending. What we're doing in this practice is looking more closely. You notice at times we'll say receiving experience, as if experience is coming to you. It's not like as if you're not creating it, as if it's already coming. The breath is already happening. Thoughts are already coming. Feelings are already happening. Things are already arising here, already arising all the time. And part of this yoniso manasikara is beginning to notice that, beginning to more closely see how things just keep arising. It's the birth of experience itself. It's arising. It arises with contact with one of the 6 senses. It arises. And then with contact, either pleasant or neutral or unpleasant, arises spontaneously. You have no control over these things. Contact keeps arising, moment after moment. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral also continually arises with each contact. Yeah, we're usually not aware of those two things very much. That's where the birthing is starting to happen, right at the beginning. Yeah, right at the beginning, right at the beginning. And Yonisa Manasikara is, oh, you could say it's welcoming the newborn. Is what it would be a kind of maybe that's a little too dramatic, but it's something like that. We're wanting to bring our attention to the new fresh experience that arising, and what not just notice it. Noticing it is part of it, but noticing it with what? With care, with tenderness, with a sense of purpose, with a judiciousness, with skill, with wholesome, with a wholesome frame. You know, we want to receive the newborn in a wholesome way as it's arising in our experience, and not what? And not get lost, and not create another story, and not grab too much to hold on to it, and not push it away if there's unpleasant arising, but it's learning to negotiate how once the experience has as it's arising, how to relate to it increasingly skillfully in a wholesome manner. Yeah. That's where we begin for the first time to have some choice. Now, we have no choice about things arising. They're already arising. We can't stop it. We can't stop the arising right now. We can't stop that. We can't stop the immediate association for pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. It's after that. No, okay, here it is. It's just been birthed. Here it is. That's right. Here it is. Now, what quality of attention? Is there going to be wise attention? Is there going to be wholesome attention now? Or am I gonna space out? Am I gonna make another story? Because we love to just make stories. Yeah. We love to spin out on the thing that's arising. Yeah. Am I gonna spin out in some unwholesome way around this? Or am I going to stay with this more continuously, and nurture it in a certain way, bring a nurturing quality of attention to it, yeah, yeah. So it's different. Yoniso Manasikara, it's not just attending to things. Attention is not enough. That's why we'll always say to you, as you will hear us say many times, just noticing, just labeling isn't enough. That may be part of the start, but it's through what lens are we now noticing and beginning to just gently hold our experience? Yeah, yeah. Hold what's being born here, right here. How do we hold it? As opposed to, right, all the things that we can do with it. Oh, what is this? This isn't the one I wanted. I want something else. I want, right? Some of our usual modes, right, of relating to experience, right? We know this, are not Yonisa Manasikara. They're not skillful or wise attention. Yeah. And so that's considered to be super important in these practices. Yeah. Mm. And very important in the move toward less stress. This is also the moment where we can begin to create stress for ourselves in this arising experience, in our tendency to over manipulate it, over orchestrate it, over position it, over manage it. Right? We have a lot of training and conditioning around over managing our experience. Right? And it's not holding it carefully. You heard me say before, what would your attention be like if you were holding a baby bird in your hands? Hmm? It would fundamentally, immediately how that would be different. It was like that. Well, that may seem overly dramatic, but it's precisely the quality of attention that we want to begin to practice. And we'll say, return to the next breath as if it were precious, as if it were dear, as if it were just being, as if this just breath, this next breath is just coming out of nowhere. Not just, oh, there's another breath. There's another breath. Boring, boring, right? You see that? So we're bringing that quality of wholesome, caring attention to this moment to moment arising of our experience that's already happening. Yeah? That's what wise attention is. That's what wise and uh, caring and wholesome attention, mindfulness. Yeah, yeah. So it's not just attention. No, it's not just attention. Yeah. Making the mind according to its origin. It's the origin attention. It's the origin, the arising, the attending. Now it's here. Now, how am I going to relate to it? One of the ways I've always related to my experience, and that's where we get to see our patterns of how we've been relating to our experience. Whoa, yeah. And this is another way. This is the yeah. This is considered to be very fundamental in releasing stress and moving more toward ease of well-being. Yeah. So you need some manasikara. Yeah. Let's practice that together. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. So opening up the body a little bit. When you're ready, beginning to slow it down, lightly closing the eyes. And we'll say beginning to turn attention to the breath. And to the already moving breath. You see, as if it were arising right now, this new breath, this fresh breath. As if it weren't just like same old, just like every other breath, but new. Here it is. Here's the next one. The miracle of that, or the birthing of that, rising right now. And bringing attention to it as if that were so. And so we watch over it with what? With care and with interest. And of course, the mind will drift away, get lost. And when you notice that, it's the willingness to return to what? To this very next breath, arising here just now. As if it were fresh and new and precious and fleeting. Again and again, mind slips away, or into in some form its old conditioning. And when we return, when we're willing to return in this way, freshly, with care, to the next arising, the next birthing of the breath, this moment, that's the new training, the new habit, the new pattern. That's the one we keep reinforcing as many times as possible. And in the last few minutes of the meditation, maybe settling back even a bit more and receiving your experience, receiving the breath. As if it were all really quite amazing.